Hello, hello. Are we live? We are live. How's it going, guys? This is your boy Nick, HOUTX Trader in the house. Also on the gram says Big Tuna. And let me see in the comments. Let me grab my dot card and throw that up. So in case you guys want to see all of the stuff in the grams and all that good stuff, you can look in the comments. I'm about to post that now. Give me 1 second. Let's copy this link right here. Let's minimize this. Go to the comments. Enter Control V. Send. Okay, there it is, guys. There's the link in the comment section now for the dot card, which has obviously the link to this YouTube, into the grams, to my broker that I use, to the funded account that I use, and a couple different Discords on there, guys, that I'm in. I'm not super active in all of them because I can only be active in so many, right? So again, guys, this is just for training. This is not for, let me do that. Good morning again. Sorry, you guys couldn't see me the first time. But anyways, this is for training. This is not for financial advice. If you need financial advice, please go see a financial planner or a professional of some sort. Okay, guys, let's start off with, well, we're already on NAS. So let's just start off with NAS. The good old NASDAQ. So basically, it's in our sell, and we are oversold on the RSI. Okay, I drew a trend line up top, so it touches the trend line. We're hoping for a trend line rejection, B, a rejection of our fib zone. It is oversold, and I was hoping that this would kind of happen, that the market would set up overnight to get us into an area so that when news drops in 13 minutes, we'll get a sell off. So now also look what else is going to sweeten this up for me. I see this little area here as liquidity. Okay, that's an order block. So let's do this. Bingo, right there. So before I want to enter a trade going the opposite direction, I want to make sure that liquidity has been taken. So there's liquidity right there. There's also these wicks of liquidity here. So these have been knocked out. Okay, guys, this liquidity has been taken. So then if we look at this section here, then right there, we can see, let me delete this, that right inside here, and I actually pointed this out last night, right inside there, that's why my square is right here, is that's where the kissing candles, what I refer to the kissing candles are. So this was on the market overview call last night, and this is what we were expecting to see this morning. So it happened. It's in our area. So let me delete this square so you can see what I'm talking about when it comes to kissing candles. Right here, we have two candles. So we had a break, a strong break. So once we have a strong break, then we look at this formation, this candle pattern. I see these two candles are perfectly aligned here with a little wick up and a little wick down. So what that's telling me is what I call this is a kissing candle. This right there. And a lot of times I like to split that kissing candle right in half, 50-50. Okay. Now it didn't hit perfect 50-50 this time, but let me see. There it is. There's the 50-50. Wicked above it, closed below it. So now that we see this candle, let's zoom in and let me try to explain to you guys real quick why I say this is a kissing candle. So again, let me just put a little box around it so we know what candles we're talking about. Let's go to the 5-minute. There it is right here. Okay. Inside of that kissing candle, we have these buy orders. This is what I was trying to show. That right here, there are people with current buys. Okay. So as this market tanked off and it sold off aggressively, we had people buying, institutions buy. Guys, my personal opinion, I don't think there's enough retailers, sellers, and buyers to really move the market. And this is a 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes worth of bull run on the NASDAQ. So that would take a lot of orders. So I'm thinking this is banks, institutions. This is, so I target this area. I see that there's buys here. I want the market to come back up, relieve these people of this pressure because they were in drawdown because they're buying. And guess what happens? It just tanked again. So all these people, all these banks are stuck right there. They want to get out of their positions. Okay. So let's go back to the 30. So that's why I look for this buy, those kissing candles, and you can see it better on the 1 hour actually. See, there it is right there on the 1 hour. So that's kind of like my target. Here's liquidity. Let's get liquidity taken out. Not only is it in a fib zone, right? We built the fib from here, from this top to this bottom. Not only is that in my fib zone, 78.886, which is my buy, which is why I have a sell zone marked right here, but it's also the kissing candles right in that zone, and it's taking out liquidity here and there. So it's taking out liquidity in two places, which means it now can go the opposite direction. It's in our fib zone, and it hit the last area of a kissing candle, which is relieving those people of those drawdown trades, and we're hoping to get some sort of reaction. And as you can see, we've already had one 1 hour candle close. Let's zoom in just a bit to take a look at this candle structure. So it did not engulf. Basically, it's just a consolidation. The candle opened and closed at the exact same heights as the previous candle, so it did not engulf. So this next candle will be the one that's going to tell us, and actually this is news. So yeah, guys, I'm in a sell already. What can I say? I already popped the entry. You do what you got to do. If you want to wait till after news, you can do that. You never know, guys. You never know if this is going to give us a wick and then down. We don't know with news of this volatility. This is going to be a big news event. Let's look at news real quick. Let's pull this up. We'll pull this up. So we have 9 more minutes left. All right, so do this. Here is the news, guys. Continuing jobless claims, initial jobless claims. All right, we have all these in the next 8 minutes. That's why they're all red. This is going to push. Then after that, I believe that's 0900 my time. Some more news will stop dropping, and a little bit more news after that, and after that, right? So expect this to be a volatile day, which is all good. Okay, guys? So we're in a sell here, and we're going to see what it's going to do for us. Dirty 30 is the exact same thing. I believe that I'm in a sell already. No, yeah, I'm already in a sell on Dirty 30 as well. I thought I was in profit, but maybe it's giving me a drawdown. I was in profit a minute ago. Before I checked this, I might have gotten a little bit better of an entry. Actually, you know what? I think I caught this wick. That's where I set my entry, was at the double top. So I'm in at the wick, so I'm in just a barely a little bit of profit there. I was in some good profit, but I was asleep, so I didn't see that. So same thing basically on US30, right? We draw a fib top to bottom. We have our 88, our 6. We see that this is liquidity. So I 100% think this is going to get taken out. So it gave us a touch. I don't like entering at liquidity. I like to enter at the top of liquidity, but if you look at from here to there, that's not a very big zone, right, to enter in. So knowing that this is all-time high, this could very well create an all-time high, and I lose the trade. But I was willing to get an entry right here and then set my stop loss up to there, which would give me room if this market wants to peak up a little bit and then come down. It protects for that. So we'll see how this goes. But let me look at the 2 hour reset. Yeah, so there's not a very big zone there to take that sell. Again, this is a very bullish market. This might just set all-time highs, but we'll have to see. This is 1, 2, and look, actually that was the third. Let me delete that. Let me delete all this really. This is what I'm talking about. There it is. There's the third touch of that liquidity. I don't like playing triple tops. We're not supposed to play triple tops, but it is what it is. My TP1 is down here. I'd like to see, because this is a double bottom, it's a clear double bottom, that's going to get taken out. I just don't know when. I'm hoping this is it. I'm hoping this peaks up, knocks out these two liquidities right there, knocks out this double, and then tanks off. So I'm going to sell there. Dirty 30, or excuse me, Goldie. I entered a sell early last night, and so I'm in a sell somewhere around in this area. I'm not real sure where. I just said, screw it, I'm going to sell, and I put my stop loss way up here. And it's a small position, guys. It's not a full position. I do have another sell limit, I believe, right here at the 78.6. So I'm double stacking that entry. So the first fib is top to bottom. All right, let's delete this fib here. We don't need that one. So the first fib's top to body. That's where we got this sell zone here. All right, so my second entry is right there on the 78.6. All right, I'd like to, again, we looked at this last night. This would be the liquidity, this square that I have. I like to see this liquidity get taken out and this get taken out, all this. And then we find the resistance in the turnaround area right where this order block is. So when I say order block, guys, this is the last bit of consolidation. This area here led to this gigantic sell-off right there. So that's the order. Those are the blocks that led to that. And then it retraced a little bit because it's normal market flow. And then again, and then gathered up liquidity, gathered up orders, and then tanked again. So if you want to look at order blocks, this would be the next order block right here, this area that led to this gigantic sell-off right there, right? It came back up and it touched it. This was the order block. Then it came back and wicked into the bottom of it and then sank off again. So this is where this is where banks are putting their orders in, right? There's some orders that sold off. It came back up. They put in some more orders. It sold off, came back up, and then they dropped the bomb. And then, yeah, yank. So we are expecting this to all this get taken out then. They've gotten their money. They're building up liquidity, building up liquidity, building up liquidity, and getting back into this order block. Let's see if they can't drop another bomb and tank from here, or perhaps they need to come back up a little bit and knock out any of these potential people that joined in with them, any of these sellers that are in this area. Let's see if the banks will take all of them out and then drop another bomb and come all the way back down to here to finish their profit. We'll see how that goes. So it is what it is. I'm in a sell now, and we have one more position up top. We've got news in 3 minutes. I'm really curious about NAS because I'm in this trade around there somewhere. Yeah, so I'm basically at break even now on that. Yeah, I might break even on both NASDAQ trades. Let's close this and this so we can just look at just the trade. Let's open up the other broker. Close this. All right, guys, so I'm in very small profit on 30-30. I am basically at break even on NASDAQ, and I'm in some drawdown on gold because, again, I just entered early and I didn't really care. So, which is a bad position to be in if you should not trade that way. But basically, yeah, I entered a sell right there. What happened was I saw this, and then I saw this engulfing candle come down, and these two wicks come down. So I said, all right, well, there's the break of structure. I'm just going to get into it now. And then if it tanks, it tanks. If it comes up, I'm not really worried. I have a gigantic stop loss, and I did not over leverage. I drastically under leveraged, and this was just, I don't want to say it's getting rid of FOMO, but now I'm like, it is what it is. If it comes up, I'll just double down on my position and enter my full position, and then we'll try to catch it. And if it sinks from here, at least I have some profit. So I was fully aware that this is just like an early entry. Again, I didn't over leveraged. Not super stressed about it. So we're good to go. You know, like hardly any drawdown. And whatever drawdown I am in on that, 30-30 on the flip side is already not much profit. So it is what it is. So we got 1 minute till news drops. Let's see what happens here. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's reset these charts. Reset, reset. All right, so now we can see what NASDAQ does, and now we can see what 30-30 does at the same time. Sorry, Goldie, you're going to have to wait. There was, on my broker, a gigantic gap on NASDAQ. So perhaps we can get that gap to fill. Let me see where it's at. Yeah, so on NASDAQ, Jesus. On NASDAQ, the gap. Where's my... Oh, here we go. So on NASDAQ, there's a gap from like the 23.6. Basically, this whole area is a gap. So there's news. 30. Okay, so news open. So this is a gap down here on my broker that we need to fill. It's somewhere in this area down here. I'm not Not precise, but it's about there. It's not much action on a news drop day. We are in profit, but I was hoping for more of a push. Thank you guys for all 8 viewers. What's up, Juan? Let's go. If you guys are in here, man, throw me a chat so I can see who's in here with us today. So that's our deal, guys. We're playing this durable to triple top. I can't even talk. Triple dirty 30. I got wicked in on this. I set my limit up here, and last night it wicked me in, and then I'm in some profit now. Again, the thinking with the dirty 30 is this is the swing marker here, and so I would go ahead and take a sell here at that with my stop loss above. If it hits that, it's all-time highs. It is what it is. If you lose that trade, you lose that trade. But again, I would really like to see this come down to where I have TP1 marked, which is just double bottom. Anytime you see a double bottom, it just prints a money sign. It's going to get taken out. All right. And we don't really have a clean double bottom on NASDAQ. But again, if you look at that same thinking, anytime you see a double bottom, especially a triple bottom like this area right here on NASDAQ, that is a target. Right there. We knew that was going to get taken out right there. So we were trying to get into trades up here to take that out. And it got taken out. I just don't think it went deep enough. I think it needs to get into this order block area. I think it needs to come into our buy zone. And we see this trend line. I'm hoping this would be the trend line rejection. All right, guys, we also talk about Elliott waves a lot. And if you look, this is a super clean Elliott wave. 1, healthy retracement. 2, healthy retracement. Let's get the third down. All right, guys, that's what we're playing. Third one down on NASDAQ. I mean, that is a perfect down and retracement to the 88.6. I mean, I don't know if that's 88.6, but it's got to be. Let's fib this. Top to bottom. 78. It's in the zone. It's not a perfect 88.6, but it's in the zone. So if you're playing the 78.6, you'd have been in that one. I mean, look at that. And yeah, man, that's such a good trade. That's a perfect fib trade all day long. And hopefully this is the same. Hopefully it doesn't smash us. But we'll see, right? There's liquidity got taken out. There's liquidity got taken out. This is the gap. I'm not really worried about. Let's just clean these charts up. We're in our sell zone. If we could hit the 600 pips today, I'd be fucking pumped. If we hit the 600 pips today, I'm closing my computer. I'm going fishing tomorrow. What's up, Colton? Nice to see you, buddy, in here. Dirty 30 is just hanging out. Again, we're in just a tiny bit of profit on the dirtiest of 30. And we are probably in a tiny bit of profit on the NASDAQ. So let's just come in just a bit closer so we can see. Yeah, so I entered the NASDAQ trade right around the top. Right around the top. So again, if we come in, let's look. Okay, guys, we have all this oversold on the 30-minute on NASDAQ. We have 2 hour is touching the overbought. Excuse me, I keep saying sold, but it's bought. You know what I mean? Overbought. We do have overbought here. Obviously, 30 minutes can be way overbought. The 15-minute is starting to see the dip, guys. So this is, let's come to the 5. And let's clean this up. Actually, let's go back to the big chart so we can see this better. Let's go back to the 5 on NASDAQ. This is the trade that I'm really playing. I'm really playing NASDAQ right now. Okay, so if we look at this. Okay, well, what do we see? We see a 1 and a 2. Okay, we don't have a third yet. So I was a bit apprehensive this morning on pulling the trigger. What I mean is the first touch, second touch here, right? High, high. It didn't give a third touch. I kind of like playing the third touch. But what, on the flip side, on the RSI, right, we have the divergent. So we have the overbought here, and then we have the touch on the overbought there. But the price is getting higher as the strength is getting lower. So when I saw that this morning, right around here, I got in. So 550, it would have been right around 6 o'clock time. So my entry would have been right around here somewhere. Right? See the stall. I saw the double top. I saw the divergent. It's in my zone. I pull the trigger. I pull the stop loss to where it needs to be. It is what it is. If I'm off by 2 or 3 pips or it is, whatever, I'm in the trade. I'm willing to, and if it's still, I don't want to say sniper entry, but I mean, even if it does, I do go on some drawdown for this third wick. I mean, you're not talking about a whole lot of pips of drawdown. So hopefully this will hold, and this trend line will reject. So on our confluences, we have trend line rejection, we have fib zones, we have kissing candle, we have overbought on the RSI, we have divergent on smaller time frames. I mean, that's 5 right off the top of my head, right there, if I can count correctly. So, I mean, we're starting to look. I remember when I was a newer trader, and one of my mentors, Stefano, shout out to Big Stefano, man, he's the boss. Stefano was like, you got 5 or 6 or 7 confluences. I'm like, bro, how the hell am I going to get that many? He's like, you got to have that many before you take a trade. I was just like, what? I got like 2, And I didn't understand then as a newer trader that, man, sometimes you need 7 or 8 confluences, So, yeah, we're starting to stack them nowadays. Nowadays, we're stacking them deep. Let's go back to the double chart here to see what 30 is doing. So, man, I'm really surprised, guys. I'm really surprised that there's no movement. That just means they're going to drop the bomb on us on when the market opens. So let's see if we can go back and double check what. Let's see if we can go back and double check and see what the news was. And I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter whatever the news comes. Oh, it's positive, it's negative, where the fuck. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but the market's going to do what the market's going to do, right? But let's just see here. I hate it when you open a new window and it goes like super small. Okay, so actual is higher than what was expected. Okay, and if you hover over here, reverse, you click on it, and it should say number of people who are currently employed, a higher than expected should be seen as a negative bearish for the dollar. Okay. So it's higher than expected. So that should be seen as a bearish for the dollar. So let's just look at that. I think it's on my red list. Nope. Green. Where's the DXY? DXY. Man, I haven't looked at the DXY in a long time. I only look at it on the daily too, by the way. I don't care what it's doing on the hourly. So we're right in the middle, guys. I mean, I always draw for the dollar, for the DXY. I draw the standard deviation, which is this tool right here, the regression trend tool, but really a standard deviation tool. We can get rid of these Fibonacci's. That doesn't matter. Get rid of this line. And yeah, I mean, obviously I was drawing support here below, but I mean, if you look high, low, nothing low, but it broke trend right here. So this is like the higher high. This is a higher low. So, I mean, smart money would say that it needs to come up here and take out this double top, take out this liquidity before it tanks off. But maybe it's not done. Maybe it needs a dip. But again, I don't really watch. I should maybe get better at watching how the dollar moves in correlation with the pairs. I don't really pay too much attention to that. And perhaps when I was trading ForEx more, I would definitely take a look at that. Jobless claims were lower than expected. Came out green on mine, so I don't know if that means it's lower or high. I think that means it's higher than expected. But I get, yeah, I see what you're saying. It would be green because if you have lower jobless claims, that's say green, right? You don't want higher jobless claims. So if we have less people employed, I mean, more people employed, less people filing for unemployment and joblessness, why would that be seen bearish? Why would the dollar go down? The inflation would go down, making the dollar less valuable. Yeah, I've got to look at that. I've got to study that. And how that would be an inverse relationship, or how that relationship would be what it is, what it is. Man, it's like watching paint dry today, guys. I was thinking that we would have a pretty good wick, pretty good sell-off. By the way, guys, hydrate in the morning. I've already drank this whole bottle, and I've been drinking it. I drank some last night when I went to bed. Woke up 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night, grabbed a drink. So nice and hydrated this morning when I woke up. Hydration is key. Meditation in the morning is key. Or for my boy Juan on the chat in the middle of the day on his lunchtime, get your brain right, relieve the stress. Walk into each trading day, and you'll see this. Walk into each trading day as it's new, right? We don't want to walk into the trading day with the regrets or the pissed off mistakes that we made the day before or whatnot, right? We want to come in new. So the meditation and getting your mind right and relieving your stress is a big way of doing that. And some years ago, man, it's probably been 6 or 7 years ago. Shout out to my girl Candace Kino in Houston, Texas, at the Black Swan Yoga Studio. Her and I have been friends since we were teenagers. I was in her yoga meditation thing one day years ago, and we took a deep breath, yoga, and she's like, whew, and she goes, "Now let that shit go," with like all the stress she was talking about, And ever since then, I was like, man, that one sentence, "let that shit go," just changed everything I thought that day. And I was like, fuck, I feel good now. And so ever since then, when I do my meditation in the morning, or when I do my stretching, or when I do my breath work, whatever it is, I'll have a chance to take that deep breath and just exhale and say, let that shit go. And dude, it works, man. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It works. I feel better after every time, and the stress ball just melts away. So when you come into this game, guys, I know there's 10 of us on here, but there could be people who are watching later on and reviewing this later on. Man, the mental part, the meditation part, and getting your mind right is just such a big deal. And being in a routine. So, Chris in here, Juan and Colton in here know that we're trying to implement a 30-day routine. And I guarantee you guys, and the rest of the guys who are in our little group there, that at the end of 30 days, you're just going to feel like a better person. Like, I would just go on walks and just tell my wife, like, I'm fucking happy, man. Like, I just feel good. I've dealt with the stress. I've dealt with the problems of life. I've compartmentalized and dealt with them internally and mentally, and I just feel good, man. So hopefully, because we're doing what we're going to do is going to make us better traders, because our mind is now correct, our psychology is now correct. We've dealt with things and our fears and our emotions and whatnot. We've had a chance to meditate and deal with things in our personal life, relieve our stress. Not only should we trade better as a side effect, we should just be better people. We should just feel better. And so I've really gotten into that. So if you're a newer trader, or you're someone who's looking to up your game, really get into a night routine and get into a morning routine and find something that works for you. Maybe my routine maybe is not the best for you, but just find your routine and stick at it. Stick with it, and you'll see that, man, you'll feel better. I just don't know. I'm looking at this and I don't see any movement. Are these damn things locked up or something? Is there just no movement? Right? No, it's moving. Okay. We're looking at this on the 1 minute chart. I'm like, why is this not moving? So they're moving. It's just, I cannot believe how absolutely flat it is with the whole jobless claim news dropping. So apparently this thing is going to be setting up for the market open in 45 minutes. I'm going to delete these off of here because we don't really care where the entry is. It is what it is. So that's it. I mean, basically, guys, we're in these trades. I'm in the trades. I'm in 3 trades right now on my personal account. I'm in 1 trade on my funded account, which is just the NASDAQ short. So again, let's just go back to the bigger chart and we'll review one more time. I mean, there's really no need to sit here. We're already in. So we'll just look. So NASDAQ is obviously super bullish. We're looking to get into a bull trade, but in the meantime, I'd like to see this Elliott wave complete. And let me come back out to the 2 hour, maybe look a little better. I'd like to see this Elliott wave complete. All right. First push down, solid retracement. Second push down, this is the retracement. Trend line break. Let's see if we can't get down to at least this gap area. Again, there's a gap there, which is one more confluence we need. And really, I'd like to see this get down into this area. Down here, our buy zone, which is our 78.86 on the buy side, so we could take this thing to all-time highs. I want to see it come down here and clear out all this liquidity. I mean, it cleared out this liquidity and got this. Really scared me. I didn't scare me, but I was playing this trade the other day here and trying to get in. I took some L's there as I was trying to get in the trade there. I was too early. And because of that, I said, you know what? I'm just going to wait until it gets down into my zone. And it never got there. I mean, we missed it by however many pips that is, 10 pips or whatever, and then it shot off. When it shoots off like this, that lets me know this has got liquidity. That cleared whatever liquidity it wanted, and it's gone. I just hope that it's not enough to set all-time highs. I'm just playing. We have one more retest down for a little bit deeper. But usually, guys, when it takes liquidity, that's what it looks like. It's a V. It's down and gone or up and gone or whatever. And you have a strong reaction. You have this gigantic candle reaction, right? You have these reactions, big move reactions. And hopefully this order block right here was liquidity that it's hunting now, this and these wicks. And as soon as this market opens, we're hoping for a very strong reaction to the south. All right, that's it. And then same thing like when we talk about liquidity and patterns. So down, small W and gone. Dirty 30. Again, we're at liquidity. So I mean, this is dumb. We shouldn't be entering sells here. But again, we're playing the fact that hopefully it doesn't set all-time highs, and this is a swing marker, and it's just coming up here to tap into this, and then it's going to sell off and give us this double tap. So with this double bottom sitting here, it's going to come down and hit this double bottom. Like, I'm very, very confident it's going to do that. I just don't know when, because look at how much when it came down, right? Came all the way up, and then it shot down and it hit that. Think about how many orders, how much money, and how much is put right there for it to just a V like that, shoot down into V like that, which tells me that there's a shit ton of orders sitting here. That was the order block that led to that. And then there's a lot of orders that led to this gigantic buy off, right? So what's the market doing now? The market's tapping into this, and anyone else who was playing these early shorts, like it saw the short, it had the retrace, and now they're shorting. But when you see that it does this back and forth, it's not like a good V move like this. This is setting up liquidity. This is just setting up. And so it's going to come back up here, screw all these people out of the trades, and then hopefully, we're hoping it just shoots right down and takes out all this and takes out this double bottom, and then it turns back around. So that's what we're playing. I mean, we're playing this area here. Again, the area is actually in here. Some of you guys, if this is a daily, I think some of you guys would be considered as a daily wick fill area, which for me is just basically saying you're playing a double top and double bottom, as y'all call it, what you want to call it. But there's your wick, right? And so you're playing that fills that wick. Of course, our stop loss then is above the wick. So if we're entering here, our stop loss is going to be above that wick. And the way I figure that out is by my fibs. So let's go back to the 2 hour for anyone, for all 13. No, what's up, 13 people? Thank you all for joining in here, man. So right now, for you guys who are just joining in, we're shorting basically everything. But I was just explaining to you guys real quick how I found, how do I use my stop loss. So if that's the last major move down, 10% of that move, 1.1 on my fib, would be my stop loss. So if you guys go to the inputs, sorry, that's a short position, wrong one. Click here, now click there, coordinates, style, there it is. So I'm going to get rid of this one. 1.1 on your Fibonacci would be 10% on the back side, right? That's where I put my stop loss. It's always 10% of whatever the Fibonacci is. So as this Fibonacci gets smaller, the stop loss gets smaller. Obviously, as this gets bigger, the stop loss gets bigger. So it is there. So there it is on the daily wick fill, if you want to call that. You want to call it double top. I call it targeting this liquidity before it finds a turnaround in this area here. We are overbought on the 2 hour RSI. We are overbought on the 1 hour RSI. I'm hesitant to call. Let me clear some of this up. I hesitate to really call this divergent. You have a higher high there, like the RSI is high here, and the price is getting higher, but the RSI is getting lower. I don't like to look that far back. Like, I like it, for me, if I was looking at divergence, it would be in this area, like right around in here. I wouldn't want to come all the way back so far. I think it's less relevant. So the point I'm making is we are overbought on the RSI. We are coming back up for a second touch, and then if this sets a new high, if this candle right here pierces and breaks this candle, then it would probably be divergent then, because the strength is getting lower, further indicating a turnaround. Again, we've got 40 minutes before news comes out. So That's what I'm playing there. I'm in that sell. The NASDAQ, again, I'm in the sell too. We are on the 2 hour, we're overbought. You know, I like the 1 hour a lot, and we're starting to come down. Let's go to the smaller time frames. Okay, starting to come down on this. All right, the strength is getting lower. Excuse me. And yeah, so here is the RSI here. So we have a top. Okay, the most overbought. As the price continues to get higher, the RSI is getting weaker. So we are divergent on the smaller time frames on NAS, which is good, which is further indicating our turnaround. So we have the trend line rejection, we have the sell zone, we have the kissing candles, we have the overbought on multiple time frames, and now we have the smaller time frames of divergence. So there's 5. I'm feeling pretty good about that on the NASDAQ short. I'm already in, and I'm in a little bit of profit, I do believe. We're probably right around break even right now. Not much action going on here today, guys. Unfortunately, thank you guys for all 13 people who joined in. Just waiting. But I wanted to break down at least our thinking. Let's go to the Goldie. We haven't talked about Goldie in a while. Okay, so on Goldie, let me delete this. This is an order block. This is what I was showing you guys earlier. This is an order block that led to this sell-off. Okay, so it's sold. The banks were putting in some of their positions, sold. Okay, put in more positions here, sold, and then it retested the bottom of that order block. And that's when they dropped the bomb and put all their positions in. By now, they had enough people buying and selling on the opposite side. They could drop all those shares, and then it just boop, sold off, right? I don't want to say shares because it's gold, but you get what I'm saying. So now what? Now we're building back up. First push, second push, third push, and now we're starting to hopefully top out. So before I think this really tanks, perhaps we get a wick up and it breaks this top of this order block right here. So this is the order block right there. We're into the order block. So it could very well sink from here and come down here and target this bottom liquidity, or it could give us a push up one more time, clearing out any leftover sellers, all right? And then that way they can get up here, and then they can drop another bomb, break this trend line, and then come all the way down. So we're in a sell now, but I do have another position waiting up here in case they want to spike it up and then tank it. Again, our stop loss is always at 10% of the overall fib. And so the fib in this situation is from this top to this bottom. And yeah. So we're looking for that. And then this order block is sitting right here, which is also in our zone. But the Goldie likes 78.6. So I don't know if it's going to get all the way into the order block. Maybe it will. But maybe it just wicks to 78.6 and takes off. I'm willing to enter at the 78.6 on this one because I know that the Goldie loves the 78.6. So I'm not going to wait until it hits the order block. I mean, it's close enough. It's not very many pips. You're not saving a whole bunch. And then the ultimate target would be the bottom down here, because then that gets into, actually the target would be like in this area, because that gets into this bottom order block. And if you look on the fib on this side, the big fib from this bottom to this top, which we've been playing in now for a month and a half, that's the buy zone there. So we're waiting for it to come and give us a good retracement before it comes off and perhaps set new highs. I'm not really sure if it's going to set new highs or not, but we're just playing this ping pong game back and forth, targeting liquidity. So as of right now, liquidity is right above our heads, right? So I entered a small position, knowing that this will probably get taken out, and I'm going to go to drawdown, but I have my second bullet sitting here. So if it wants to sink from here, then, hey, I'll take that profit. That's why I'm in the position. Again, I'm not over leveraged, but I really think this is probably going to come up, smash the top of this area, knock out all these people, and then we'll find a better selling opportunity, and then we'll target the liquidity below. And then by then we'll have our fib, we'll have RSI would have been overbought. I mean, we'll have several confluences by then if it gets up that high, and then hopefully it'll smash that trend line, and then it really go to town. So we're just sitting here. There's nothing we can do, guys. Yeah, there's nothing else I can say. You can see why I'm in. Point. Yep. So for the order that you have on gold, can you give the figure details for the stop loss at entry? Yeah, so if you're not in gold, I told you I'm in gold right now, and I'm in. I just last night I was like, screw it, I'm gonna put a small position in, and that way I'm in. I don't want to say it releases the FOMO, but a lot of times if I go with like a half position, like a small position, there is no more FOMO because I'm already in. So what I would think, what I would really want to see is an entry right here at 2049, right? And then at 2049, you're going to have a big stop loss, so don't over leverage 2075. That's way too big. 49 to 75. I mean, I understand, but if you're playing the percentages, it is what it is. So, 200 pip stop losses is way too much. So if that's way too much for you, I completely understand. A, don't over leverage. Or B, what you would want to do then is wait for this. So you would want to wait for it to shoot up. Okay. Wait on a small time frame, wait for the internal break of structure, which would be this, right? And so what I'm saying is you'd want to, once it comes up and it sets a little low, it'll come up and set another high, and then it'll break that low. When it retraces, then you fib that move right there, top to bottom. Again, this is probably like a small time frame, 3 minute or 1 minute. You would fib that pullback and then get in. Okay, so that's the safest way to trade. If you want to protect your bank account, that's the safest way. If you have, if you can be a disciplined trader, then you could just set it here, knowing that your stop loss is up there in 2074 area. Just make sure you're properly risked and don't over leverage for that. Because at the end of the day, if your target's still down here, you're still looking. I mean, it's a 2-to-1 trade, which is not the best. I understand, but once this thing does start to go into profit, then you can start to save the stop loss off. Because once it goes, it should go. It should leave, right? So then once you start to shave that down, then obviously you get into better R2Rs. Like that's like almost a 5-to-1 right there. Or I mean, you could set it to where this thing should not be breaking this 88.6. So even if you take the 78.6, you put your stop loss right above the 88.6, maybe split it in half, and then. But look at this. Look at this. This big ass buy fib right here. The 236 is right there. Right. The 236 is right there. So maybe just put it just a hair above that 236. So then that situation would be 2062. So if you're trying to jump in at 2048 and then your stop loss is 2062, that's not the worst. That's not the worst amount of pips. But again, we're playing on a higher time frame, right? So sometimes the pips are that much. I usually like to risk like 50 pips. We're going to risk 50 pips, and we really need to come in here and figure this out. So then if we're really going to try to snipe like that, I'd want to come in here and draw this fib, right? And that fib, so, I mean, shit, you could try that, really. You could try that entry right there at 2038 and give yourself 50 pips. 2038 was 50, be 80. Yeah, so then you're still, I mean, you're still way up here. So, I mean, that's plenty. So, anyway, I usually like to do 50 pips. So 38 would be a 58. No, 38 would be a 88. But do what you got to do. Again, I don't really like calling out the exact numbers. I just like calling out this zone. This is the zone, the 78.6 zone. Let's wait for it to get there. We're on the 30-minute. We're not overbought. On the 1 hour, we're not overbought. So this has plenty of room to push up. Yeah. For me, it is what it is. The fibs are what they are. And if I'm a disciplined trader, I go off the fibs. I like to enter in gold at 78.6. No matter what pair I do, the stop loss is always at 10% of the overall fib. So if I'm playing this gigantic fib right here, top to bottom, it is what it is. There to there. That's the fib that I'm playing. And that's the stop loss. I don't question it. It is what it is. Just I risk appropriately. And really, you want to see, that for a TP. And yeah, the R looks like ass, but at the same token, if you hit this trade and you're bagging 580 something pips, I mean, you know what I mean? Fuck. It is what it is. You don't need too many of those trades to really double up your bank account. So There's not much else to do here, guys. I don't see there's any reason to sit around and just watch this paint dry. As you guys know, I like to trade before the market opens. I like to have a reaction off the news. For me, I personally think that the market likes to set up and give us an entry or give us an area before the news drops. So from here, is it more likely, do you think, that this market is just going to take off and set all-time highs? I mean, it could do that, right? Or do you think it's going to have a dip down, come in and grab some liquidity, and then set all-time highs, right? So I'm playing the fact that hopefully it comes down and grabs this liquidity before it sets all-time highs. Well, if we get into this trade, it comes down to here. By now, I'm going to at least shave off half and then protect and make this, I guess technically I would say this would probably be TP1 over here in this area. And then really hold TP2 for here, and then after that point, leave a runner. So you have to think, where the market, is it setting up to do what? I mean, is it just going to rocket off from here? I don't know, man. I just seem to think it needs to come down first and then rocket off. Like, it's already so high. Why would it want to take off? It needs people's orders. So it needs to come down here, smash, and then go. So that's just what I was thinking. Oh, what up, Cody? Oh, my boy, bitch tits is in the house all the way from Bangkok. What's up, dude? Okay, so Cody's in the house. Let's look at this. Let's look at this crypto shit. All right. So on this Manta, let's go to the 12-hour. Manta. As you can see, Manta just opened and then went to the roof, right? And so now we didn't have I guess we say have an internal break of structure. Like if you would count this as the bottom here with the double bottom. So anytime you see double bottom, guys, you've heard me say it, is that's a target, all right? So when it comes up, it comes down, gives us this bottom, comes up and gives us this bottom. I mean, it's going to come down and get these double bottoms. Get some knowledge. So so now we have to look at what it's going to do. So we fib this move here. We fib that move from that pullback, right? And so now where are we at? We're at this 61.8. Now this is on a higher time frame. And I told Cody earlier on the daily chart, if this closes below the 61.8, which it looks like it's doing, I think this is going to sell off. Okay, what's the same kissing candles that we talked about earlier on the NASDAQ entry? Right, when you see, and also it matches up with structure. So like this bottom area right here is structure. So in my mind, this is what I'm thinking. This is buying up, right? It comes down to these lows, and then there's people who are going to be buying off this double bottom from this daily to this daily, and they're thinking we're going to continue this party. There are people who are buying right here. So let's delete all this and get into this kissing candle thing, right? Let's delete this. No, we're not going to delete it. We're just going to move it over. So within that daily, and this works on several time frames, but in that daily time, those candles, well, let's reset this chart. There's where we're at. There's shit. Go back. There's those kissing candles right there, guys. And so if you think about it, there's buyers sitting right there where I just drew it up. That is what makes that kissing candle. So if you think about this, okay, we're buying. We have a good retracement back to this area. Buying. People are like, hey, look, this is the double bottom, whatever. This is the zone. They're playing this whole support resistance game. And this is why I don't like playing the support resistance game. I like playing the liquidity game. So they're seeing this as previous support right here, this order block, and they're buying. And so right now there's buyers right there. And then it just took off and left them. And they are now screwed because they're now in drawdown. But knowing the market is what it is, it's going to come back up and relieve these people of this pressure. It's going to relieve these buyers. Now, I fully understand that there's buyers here, right? But if we look at this, and you look, the market for these buyers that are sitting right here, the market came down. These people are in drawdown. Well, it came back up and relieved them. So all of these buy candles, I would call them virgin, are no longer virgins. They've been back and they've been tapped. Okay, comes down. These buy candles got tapped right here. This buy candle, yeah, that one might have been the pressure relief, but it came back up and almost got into the bottom of that candle. So this whole area, the market has been back and forth, allowing these people equal opportunity to get in and get out of the trades. Okay, we had these buyers, and then guess what? It's sold off, and it hasn't been back. It hasn't been back. These buyers, guess what? It came back down, came back in, got them. So we have to look at market flow and market structure. Those are the last bit of virgin candles that haven't been touched. So guess what? The market smashed them just now. We've come back up to the daily time frame, but just because this is crypto, I want to look at a bigger time frame. Now that it came back up and that kissing candle let those guys get out, if this closes below the 618, I think it's going to continue to sell off, which only makes sense because you have one of these brand new cryptos that has a huge pump, okay? Huge pump up, get into the thing, closing below. And this morning when I told Cody that, it was sitting right at the 61.8, so it's already came down that much in the last couple hours. So I think this is going to continue to sell off. Where is it going to continue to sell off to would be the next question, right? Well, if this is a sell fib and this is a solid retracement, then our TP areas are going to be the extensions on the fib. All right. And look, if you think about it, where's that TP? The TP is right at the bottom of this last consolidation area. So it makes sense that maybe it's going to sell off to this area. But also, I like Elliott waves. So there's your first wave. There's going to be your second wave. Expect a pullback, maybe into this order block, and then finish it off third wave somewhere down in here. What I would probably do in that situation then is have this, have it, right? And then that would probably be where I would look to get back in. So I think it's going to continue to sell off. Hell, I could be wrong. But, I mean, it's just what it looks like to me. Kind of makes sense. Delete all this BS. So you'll have to look, Cody. I mean, I think it's going to sell. That was the top. Let it come down here. Let it clear out all these liquidity. All these people who are buying. You know, oh, look, we're all rock stars. We're buying, we're buying, we're buying. Let it smash all those fuckers. And then the big boys will come in and buy it back up. Goldie. Is it selling off? It's still hanging out. Let's go to this double screen. So again, we're nothing's happening. On this, we need to be probably on a 30-minute chart. So it's just stalling. It's just waiting for news, guys. Nothing we can do about it. Thanks again, Cody, for stopping by, man. So for you guys who don't know, who are my trading group, like Chris and Colton and Juan and all those guys, Cody's my boy from college. And he lives in Bangkok, and he is a professional crypto Deegan fucking NFT person, you know, whatever, into all that shit. So if you guys want some insights on that world, yeah, he's the guy to talk to. I was going to come over here. Oh, this is what I was going to do. I was going to come over here and look at this Bitcoin real quick. So we got 10 people in here now. We got 25 that have joined by. So thank you guys all for who have at least stopped by and said what up. The old BTC, right, on the daily chart, playing these zones. Cody and I were looking at this the other day. We're like, yeah, it's going to continue to take off this. I told him when it was down here that we were targeting this double top, and it came down and just fucking ran, dude. Look at that. Yeah, degenerates. Yeah. All those Alaska guys are degenerate. Cody's from Alaska, by the way. So where are we looking at? Yeah, so it targeted that, and then it smashed through. Now, look, guys. Look at where this little wiki guy is right there. Right? So could that be the next? Could that have been the target for this to turn around? Now, I don't know, because we also have this gigantic area here, and I'm sure if you're a fair value gap person, you would see this entire area right there as a fair value gap. So I don't really know where this is going to go as far as Bitcoin is concerned now. But if we do come to the 1 hour, let's look at this. Perhaps it's going to turn around, because first thing I see is the trend line break. All right, and we could even move our trend line to there actually to be a little safer. It broke. It double topped. I would like to see this before I would entertain selling. You can see that it's setting up this solid bottom right here, right? So I would want to see the break of structure first. So yes, it did break trend line, but it really hasn't broke the structure yet. So I'd want to see a break and then a pullback and then go. So I would wait for that break, and then I would fib that top to wherever the break is. I'm just going to put it here for now, wherever that break is, and then see if you can't get a retest of this area, which would be the top, of, let me see if I can delete this. delete this too. So if you have a channel, right? If you have this, let's see if you can't get a breakdown below, and then fib and then retest this area before it sinks back off. So you could be looking for sells in the short term. On the long term, Ethereum, is that all time? No. It's just pushing like crazy. But again, where is it going to turn around? So we had the fib from here to there. It is getting into the TP area. And if that's the case, where would it be from here? Right? 78.6. So this Ethereum could be turning around any minute now, because we're in the sell zone and we're in the TP zone for that last push up. So Ethereum, and look how overbought Ethereum is on the daily chart. So Ethereum's about to turn around, Bitcoin's about to turn around. These guys have smashed their profits, and they're looking to take their profits, and it's going to sink back down. This is my opinion. Solana has already kind of started to do that. They've already went and hit their targets. They've come back down, came back, got the liquidity. Look at this buy zone. I haven't looked at this in I don't even know how long. There's the buy zone. It tapped it and it took back off. Why? Because this top area is liquidity. So after it comes down and hits this bottom area, hits this bottom right here for liquidity, targeted that liquidity, got into our fib. What's the next target? Up here is the target. Hit that. And you also had this wick right here that sits there. Hit that. Now, what did this set up? That set up a double top, guys. That's liquidity. So what's it going to do now? It's going to target these bottoms right there. Okay, so what do? We're going to draw this fib from there to there. Okay, and we're going to buy. Well, I'm not saying that I'm going to, but more than likely I would buy right there to 78.6, because now we know that this double top's got to get taken out. We have a good R to R. Let's wait for this. Let's wait for this 93 to get taken out. Let's try to buy in at the 86 area and see if we can't set a new high or continue this trend. So, I mean, your TP would be up in there somewhere. All right, I already drew it out right here. That's what it's doing. Bing, bing, bing. So there we go. There's your crypto. Still yet to have the pre-halving dip. Oh, yeah, the halving dip for starting to say that this time is different. Yeah, he's talking about Bitcoin's going to be halving here pretty soon, making it harder, or should I say less profitable to mine Bitcoin. And so that will slow down Bitcoin. And if I'm not incorrect there, Cody, that would make the prices of Bitcoin go up, because they're going to become more valuable, because they're going to be harder to mine. Let's go fucking NASDAQ, dude. I want this fucking NASDAQ trade to hit so bad, because I'm an idiot. And I took an L the other day because I was too early. I was buying in here and it smashed me, and then it turned around, of course. But it did not get to the sell zone. So I have a lot of confidence this NASDAQ's still going to come down. Let's go, baby. Sell off. 13 minutes. I really need to go because I have to take my daughter to school today. I should be jumping off of here. But we've got 13 more minutes left. Let me check with my wife. Give me 1 second. Babe! No, she's in a meeting. 1 second. Okay. We're back. So, yeah, the wife is good. Baby's good. She's eating breakfast. So we're all good. I got some time. I cannot believe how absolutely slow this is moving, dude. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate the comment. This is moving so damn slow. I was hoping we'd have, like a good trading day where we have some volatility. We could smash some trades. My wife is texting me, because that's obviously the best way to talk when you're in a house. You'll need to stop in about 10-15 minutes so she can get dressed. She knows. All I gotta do is text her news at 8:30. She already knows. Say, babe, I got fucking news at 8:30. Okay. So where's Goldie? This is gold on the daily chart. Let's just hide all this. What is Goldie doing on the daily chart? Up, down, did not set a higher high, but at the same time, it has not set a lower low, right? But it is starting to trend in this downward motion. One. So if we look at the Elliott wave again, one push down, two push down, three push down. This could be the reversal. We need to hold this bottom to set the high. But I don't know. Like, I would like to see it come down again and then push off. So this would be the first leg of the upward push. Let's get a retracement to make the second leg. Ultimately, we want to come up here and take out these triple tops right here. 1, 2, 3. That's the ultimate target, right? So do I think it's just going to do it now? Zing to the moon? No, I'm hoping it comes up, finds this as resistance, comes back down, grabs some liquidity, and then makes it way up. So if we're looking at waves, right, there's a good 2 waver. 1, 2. Maybe it needs to set the third wave, which I'm cool with it setting a third wave, but I just like the internal structure. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Okay, we're reversing. I'm cool with that. Let's get the first push now. Let's get it down, take my profit, and then we'll target these double tops on that second leg. So my bias is still what it is. I'm still trying to sell. Still trying to sell this bad boy. But maybe we get a wick up to take this liquidity out, and then I'll double down on that sell. I've said it 90 times since we've been on here being bored as fuck. The market's not moving. This thing needs to reject now, and hopefully this is rejecting now. So, hey guys, if you guys are new, I know there's 10 of you guys on here, please like, please subscribe, please drop a comment, all that good stuff, help the YouTube channel out. If you guys are in the Bored Ape Club, or I also dropped this on couple other my discords, if you guys are in there, man, please like, please subscribe. I'm doing this free. I don't charge courses, I don't charge memberships, none of that BS. If I do a good job and you guys end up learning something and you end up winning some trades, my memberships will come up, my subscriptions will come up, and then eventually YouTube will pay me, and I'm good that way. I need more water. Drink it all. Dude, we've got fucking 12 more minutes. It's gonna be the longest 12 minutes of my life. Fuck. I would just have a bank come here and just fucking sell this son of a bitch. Sell this son of a bitch. Okay. Wife says I can do what I got to do, but the baby has to be at school at 9, and it takes about 5 minutes to get there. So right after news, as soon as this news drops, guys, we might trade for 2 or 3 minutes after that, and then I got to split. Got to get her dressed, the whole 9 yards. So, what are we doing here? Are we going to reject? So we're not divergent. We're not anything. There's really nothing else for me to say. Really nothing else to say. So this is what I'm going to do then. We're going to put it on this chart. We're going to put some fucking music on. Hopefully YouTube doesn't say I'm copywriting or some bullshit. So I guess we're on the downtime. We got 10 people in here. I want to just go back over what we're doing as a group. As the traders, there's only a couple of us who are doing it because I wanted it to be a small group. We're doing a 30-day mental get yourself right, and what my process is and what I've found to be the most successful for my trading is that if I have a solid night routine, and that's kind of the reasons why I started doing the market outlook, because if I do the market outlook every night, it almost forces me and has an obligation for me to pay attention to the charts the night before, get a plan A. If the market does A, I'm doing this. If the market does B, I'm doing this. Up, down, know where my zones are, and get completely prepared for the next day, right? So when I wake up in the morning, I'm not trying to figure out what the hell the market's doing. I've already planned it out. I'm already mentally ready for it, right? And then so with my wife and I, we've kind of made the schedule where I put the baby to sleep. Baby likes to go to bed at 8 o'clock at night, probably, watch cartoon for a little bit, then we turn the lights off. She probably doesn't go to bed till like 9, 9:30, whatever. So like 8 o'clock, I'm in the bedroom with the lights off, watching Mickey Mouse or some shit, right? Like I'm pretty much getting ready to go to sleep. 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm usually already asleep. So if I go from sleep like 9, wake up at 5:30, I'm getting my time in, get my 8 plus. So I find that when I go to bed at a good time and I get my 8 plus and I do my charts the night before, I'm better. I'm a better trader. I've done a lot of research and studying books and podcasts and whatnot about psychology as well. So with the psychology of logging your emotions, logging what you felt for the day, when the trade did this, how did you deal with it, right? And the more you begin to think about it and bring it to your frontal cortex, and you start to like rationalize it, the better you can get with dealing with it. So with the 30-day group, we're going to now write down during the trade, were we pissed off? Were we angry? Why did we close so early? Like what emotions did we have? How did we deal with it? And we need to realize them so we can get better at being with it. FOMO is an emotion. Closing your trade out too early is being scared, because you're scared you're going to lose those profits. So we need to think about that, right? And that way we can get better at it. We're also going to trade our log, how could we have made more money today? How could we have lost less money today? What habits, what good habits do we have today? What bad habits do we have today? And what habits do we want to get better at or implement into our routine, right? So that's what we're going to log. We're going to log that every day for 30 days. And just on a side note, if you think about this, you guys got to think that the best traders in the world have psychologists and help desk and coaches and stuff. And these people are doing this, man. The best traders in the world, best crypto traders or the best ForEx, whatever, they're going to have a full network and a full support system behind them, helping them be the best that they can be. And that's who we're competing against. So we have to do the same thing. We have to be on that level of preparation, mental mindset, being in touch with our emotions, the whole 9 yards, right? Get good sleep. Okay, so now we're in the morning time. I'm drinking water throughout the night. Hydration before you go to bed is obviously key. They say that, your brain is only 5% of your body weight, but uses up like 20 to 25% of the calories of your body. So it's the food and the water is super important. So I wake up in the morning and, let the dogs out, come into my office and start to stretch my back out, my legs out, my hamstrings, those kind of things. Just move around a little bit. Do my meditation. After meditation, do some prayer. After the prayer, do a little more meditation. By now, the dogs are inside. I've already petted them, and now they're laying at the desk, and they're laying down, being cool. Hydrate the entire time. Turn the lights on. Usually, it's dark in here when I'm doing all that. Write in my journal. I like to write during my prayer, I'd say what I'm grateful for. So when I log in, I log what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I have the internet. I'm grateful that I have power. I'm grateful that I have a wife and a daughter. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm even able to trade. I'm grateful for a strong body, strong mind, blah, 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 blah. You get it. You write what you're grateful for. And then after that, in my book, I write, today I will be's, right? Today I will be successful. Today I will be patient. Today I will whatever, right? And I write those down to remind myself of what my goals are. Today I will get closer to accomplishing my goals. And therefore, the power of mental, right? And so if you see yourself successful, if you see yourself being a full-time trader, if you see yourself in whatever, you have to train your mind so you can get there. Once that's done, then I can open the charts. Before that, I like to go outside, put my feet in the grass, get some grounding. If the sun lights up, I like to look at the sun a little bit, move around, again, continue to stretch, get my shoulders loosened up, do some body squats, get the blood flowing, and just get ready. Come in, hit the charts, see where it's at, make my plans. News is at 7:30. I like to be in the trade between 7 and 8. For me, at 7:30, I'm Central Time, so this morning I got in before news. I got in at 7:15, 7:20 in the morning. Probably actually even before that, probably around 7. That's when I entered the trade. And then now I'm just waiting for news. So we've got 6 minutes, but that's my night routine. That's my day routine. I don't think people, especially new traders, have incorporated a routine yet, and I think it's super important. So I talked to you guys' boy Andy. So maybe Andy and I are going to do a video here pretty soon, and we're going to go over some of his psychology and some of his routines, and probably go over some of the things that he doesn't normally talk about. Everyone on these videos is all strategy. And to be honest with you guys, having a good strategy is obviously important because your strategy needs to be for you. But the flip side of that, no one ever talks about routine. No one ever talks about how they dealt with drawdown. Very few. I've never seen a video where Q Banks talks about his strategy. Talks about his routine, What does he do at nighttime? What do all these big swinging ding dong traders who are this and that? What's unveil the curtain. Everyone wants to know strategy, but strategy is only a piece of it, right? We got to figure out the other piece, and it's a work in progress. It's a Michelangelo that's always going to need more fresh paint, right? So the group that I'm in, if you're still in here, guys, Colton and Juan, and I'm not sure if Fausto's in here, but those guys that were in that group, that's why we're doing it. We're just trying to become better people, better traders, and complete the piece. Like if we have a trading strategy, that's great. That's one piece of the puzzle. We're trying to get the body and the mind and the psychology to complete the puzzle. And so that's what we're working on. Hopefully that helps. And it helped kill some time as I was babbling. Yeah, the brain can definitely. So the brain, obviously, we have all these millions of years of evolution that keep us from dying. So when you're in a scared situation, or when you're in a situation, your brain has been programmed for a long time to get out of that, to go away from fear, to go back to safety, to avoid danger, be safe. Right? When you're in profit, you're fearful. You're afraid you're going to lose that profit, and therefore you book too early. And by booking too early, you cut your fucking legs out from underneath you, because sometimes you need those big trades. You need those banger trades to keep your account in the positive. If the average person has a 30 to 40% win ratio, right, you're losing a lot. You need those trades. You need those good ones that you got in to bang. And it's in the same side. And I was guilty of this fucking Tuesday, like an idiot. I should have known better. When you're in drawdown, you're hopeful. You're hopeful that it's turning around. I hope it's going to turn around and people move their stop losses because it's going to turn around in a minute. They're all hopeful. Being hopeful is very strong emotion, just like being fearful is. And a lot of people double down. And I did that the other day. I took a smaller position up front, went to drawdown, doubled down in the position, and that's something I shouldn't do. And that's something I do sometimes. I was overly confident, and I'm going to check my emotions. And I made a normal loss into a double loss, and that was a fucking idiot of me. But again, I broke number one rule of trading, which I wasn't in my routine. I wasn't at home the night before. I was at the airport. I was traveling, this and that, and I shouldn't have been trading. And I broke my routine, and I paid for it. And it is what it is. So again, I log that too in my book. So here's the book at all the logs and all the days. And at the back of the book, I have my lessons, right? And I write down, don't do this. What did I learn for that day? What was my lesson? Blah, 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 blah. So hopefully you guys write your lessons down to remind yourself, and you read those pretty often. This is fucking boring as shit. We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes until the rodeo. 2 minutes until the rodeo. And I think I closed down I closed down the news. It doesn't really matter what the news is. I don't think. For me, I just want to know that there is news. And I am curious of what kind of news, like CPI, different than NFP, different than this, because sometimes what I like to do is say, okay, let's say NFP is dropping today. Go back to the month before, the month before, and the month before, and see what the market did on those NFP days and see the reaction. Did it give us a huge wick and then take off, or did it just take off? Like, what does it do? So on certain news days, I'll go back and look at that. If I know NFP is on a Friday, well, then on a Wednesday or Thursday, I'll go back and look at what it did, before that. There's no reason to do it the day of, the morning of. I give myself plenty of time to think about it when I'm not in a rush and map those out. Perhaps that's something I need to do more of. Maybe I should write that down. I'll write it down. Hopefully it'll stick in my brain. So that's something I want to get better at. So today when I do my log, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to get better at all right, there it is. Get better at going back and checking previous news. And if you think about it, don't you think the big dick traders on Wall Street or these big hedge funds, don't you think they go back or they have people who do that for them? Say, hey, look, man, this is the last time last 6 times NFP's dropped. This is what the market's done for them. Don't you think they're doing that? There should be no reason why we're not doing that. Should be no reason why we're not doing that. News is out, guys. Melt, USOB, melt. If it doesn't melt, it is what it is, guys. We did our homework. We stacked our confluences, but we're going to have positive mindset. Here's the liquidity. It came up. It got into our fib zone. It's hopefully reject this trend line. We have the overbought situation on the RSI on several time frames. NAS, I hope, will be dropping down. And 30-30, we have all this liquidity here. I expect us to maybe get a little wick up, but ultimately we'd like it to hold this top right there. So our stop loss is above this top. Now, knowing 30-30, there's probably a million other people who are doing exactly what we're doing. We might get smashed on 30-30. It is what it is. What is Goldie doing? Sell, you son of a bitch. Okay, so gold continues to sell, which is good. Well, actually, I would say that's good because usually the indices go reverse of that, but lately that hasn't always been the case. When gold buys, indices sell, vice versa, but they've kind of been tracking the same, which has been a bit odd. All right, we're getting a little push here. Let's see what the smaller time frames look like. I'm really interested in the NASDAQ. So the 3-minute, right? We haven't really had a break of structure. I mean, I kind of want to see this as the break of structure right here. So we really haven't seen a clean break. I cannot believe this is so fucking boring. News is in 15 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? News is in 15 minutes at 8:45? God bless. I gotta go. Only reason why I'm even on this long is because I thought news was going to be out. Did it not come out already? Am I a fucking idiot? Oh my God, we got 12 more minutes left. All right, guys. All right. Well, okay. I take that back. I kind of knew that. Okay. On my defense, I kind of knew that. What I was referring to was market open. Okay. I don't really give a shit. The major news has already came out. The market open. That's what I meant. Market's open. Look, here's the wick on both sides. It hasn't really taken anyone out, though. I mean, that wick didn't do shit. That's a pretty weak wick. You would think a wick up or down to take out whatever, but it hasn't done anything. What's 30-30 doing? Same thing with the wick, but that's a wick. See, that's a 30-minute wick. Now, that 30-minute wick is what you would expect to see, right? 30 minutes, that's 100 points. In 30 minutes, that's a 30-minute wick that did that. So what it's doing is screwing people on both sides. But guess what, guys? Our entry is way up. Our stop loss is way up. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that wick. We're all good. We'll just put it on the 1 hour. Let's delete this. So I'm not worried about that wick because we're protected. We're above that. And this is hopefully going to sell off. We are in profit now. We are definitely in some sort of profit now for NASDAQ. We're probably at break even, maybe in a hair bit of drawdown on the dirtiest of 30. And Goldie, I'm probably at break even, but we really want to see this trend line. If this trend line breaks, guys, I might just jump in another trade. I might just double down because I'm not a breakout trader by any means. But if it breaks this trend line here and it breaks this low, the target would then be, I mean, I think its target's going to be at least to here, right? So if there's any Andy Peters breakout traders on here, they're going to love the fact that I just said that. But that's not normally how I trade. But I would be willing to throw down a little bit extra on that one. Okay, I've got to go, guys. Market is open. We found our entries. We're in a hair bit of drawdown on the dirty 30, which is all good. We are in a bit of profit on that trade. So let's just double check. I'm in profit on 30 and a slight drawdown on gold and 30. Oh, on NAS. Flip that. Profit on NAS, slight drawdown on the other two. And I'm in profit on the big account on NASDAQ. So we are good to go there. Not much profit, but some profit. All right, guys. We found our trades. We did our homework, and we did everything we could do for the market. Hopefully this is somewhat helpful. And yeah, perhaps the market's waiting for another few minutes for the other news to come out, but I think it would have already done it. But anyways, thanks guys for stopping by. Please like, please share, please comment, all that good stuff. This is for training only. This is not financial advice. Thank you guys very much. Mark and Cody and Chris and Colton and Juan, thank you guys very much. Safe trading today. And if you're in the Discord, post your